Hello, my name is Joan Gorman. I'm a member of Aldridge Parish Church and I'm going to base my word today on Genesis chapter 8 verses 22. It says, "As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease." We have had lockdown for well over a year now. I started doing daily walks with my husband and what a difference it made. No rushing past the trees and the local countryside. I had time to take it all in. During these walks at different times of the year, the Lord used the sights I saw to teach me more about Him. The weather at this time last year was beautiful, sunny and really warm. This was really God-given, because if the weather had been wet and cold, I certainly wouldn't have ventured out. Also, the whole of the golf course was available for us to walk over. I didn't know how beautiful it was and how far we could see into the countryside. It was spring when we first went into lockdown. The trees were beginning to show their buds forming from the branches. They were bright green, new and fresh. God revealed this is what Easter is about. New life given to us through the death and resurrection of Jesus. We sometimes, after a dark time, regain our strength and show and gain new life in our Christian journey. As you walk into the golf course from the Stonnell Road, there is a wonderful cherry blossom tree. The flowers were wide open, separate flowers with bright pink, see-through leaves. A lovely sight to see. The next morning the weather was windy, and as we passed the tree, I saw that all the flowers had fallen to the ground. It looked as if there had been a wedding and confetti had been sprinkled on the ground. But it made me think of if we as Christians are alone, we are more vulnerable when difficult times come along. The opposite came to my mind when I saw the hawthorn bushes. Its white flowers were smaller, much closer together, almost supporting each other. These flowers stayed on the trees much longer, despite the windy days. So we as Christians need to stay close to each other, praying for each other and helping each other in any way we can. We had phone messages of support, Zoom meetings and virtual services, which have greatly helped us through these lockdowns. God again has provided for us. The main colours during this springtime were purple and yellow, daffodils, crocuses, bluebells and forget-me-nots. What a wonderful paint palette God had made. I don't think I'd ever realised this until the lockdown, and I thank God He gave me the time to appreciate it. As the weather got warmer, the leaves started to grow larger and the fruit of the trees started to appear. Also, different flowers appeared where there had been bare ground. The weather was much warmer. What a treat in our village that we have so much green belt land to wander around. Come the autumn, with the leaves changing colour and the fruit ripening, it was both lovely to look at and also tasty to eat. The collecting blackberries took me back to my childhood, and God said, "I will provide these for you. You don't need to go to buy them from Morrison's." They certainly tasted better. I made apple and blackberry pie filling, froze it ready to make pies. I also made blackcurrant jam and damson jam using fruit from my brother's garden. Time was on my side I could enjoy making things, not rushing as I had done other things, as I had other things to do or places to go. What a blessing the extra time had been. Time to listen to God more, time to pray more, time to read His word more and contemplate on it. I was just through this time so aware of how fortunate we are, as how different open spaces in Aldridge, how many different open spaces there are in Aldridge. I noticed on the edge of the cricket pitch that there were at least 6 different types of trees making up the boundary. There were hawthorn, sycamore, elderberry, holly, beech, hazel and silver birch, beside a fir and spruce tree. The colours in autumn were great, but come winter the trees were bare, except for the holly and the fir tree. I couldn't tell the type of trees they were from the bare silhouettes, but as I walked down Gorman Lane, I saw a copse of bare trees with lovely silver bark. They were silver birch trees standing upright. They had no leaves, but I knew straight away the name of the tree. They stood out in the cold winter weather. God said, that is how we as Christians should be standing out to give help and support, using God's strength to shine for Him. As the rain has come, it has washed away the soil around the base of the trees, revealing their roots. Our roots are in Jesus, so we should be showing Jesus in our lives. Now, more than a year since lockdown started, and spring has come and gone, summer blooms are blossoming once again. It just shows, despite this pandemic, God has been faithful to that promise He gave to Noah. The seasons haven't changed or stopped. Autumn isn't beginning where spring should be. God is still in control. What a faithful God we have. Amen.